Game of Jin Air Falcons versus Bigfile AMOR. Evelyn and Thresh, the two bans so far for Jin Air, and over on the Bigfile side, Elise and Sivir.
The Evelyn's a little curious, but they may know something about Slave that we don't.
Waiting for that Kassadin ban too.
Yeah, no Kassadin ban so far. I think giving that one up would be a little bit silly, but
yeah,
there we go. So Thresh and Annie, we've been seeing a lot of those bans over on the blue side, and that'll be a first pick Caitlyn. And this is what happens typically when the Sivir gets, when the Sivir gets banned out. Caitlyn's a very safe first pick if you want to go ahead and grab that and not say a lot about your composition.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely right. It kind of ranks in 80 carry picks right now. Sivir, then Caitlyn, then Lucian, usually is how the top three.
Yeah, it just Sivir has some more trouble in lane, so Caitlyn's just a safe, but probably the safest of the three laners.
Oh yeah, and I've always thought, if you are a player out there that wants to learn AD carry, play Caitlyn.
She's super easy.
She's so easy to play. Yeah, and you've got that long range. You can just concentrate on CSing without worrying about getting poked or doped too much.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, the champion to pick up if you want to learn about playing AD carry. And so strong right now too. Not bad. And will we see that Lulu pick up? Wasn't first pick, but still a high priority pick here. I would have to say I feel like the other champion if you want to learn how to play carry is Graves. He's another very forgiving champion to learn, I think. That's who I learned on. I learned on Graves, actually.
Yeah, Graves is okay. It's just a little harder. You have to be very aggressive in terms of your laning, and it is more difficult because he's a little more all-in-y.
He's just very durable, in lane. So you can make mistakes and mess around in lane and still make it out. So there we go. Not that I'm a real big expert on AD carries, but I've laned with quite a few of them. Kha'Zix's the other pickup, probably going to go in the jungle for Jin Air. Meanwhile, over on the Bigfile AMOR side, Gragas, Pantheon, Lucian, and that Shyvana pickup, of course, for Sudal in the top lane.
I love the mid-Lulu Kha'Zix jungle combination. It really gives him a lot of durability, allows him to be more of an initiator as well because he can jump in and then get the knock-up from Wild Growth. Yeah. And it ensures he gets some pretty good resets off most of the time as well. It helps him carry out of the jungle when he doesn't have as many items as he would in the mid lane.
Well, Lulu has really been good for kind of creating this ability to have these carry junglers that become sort of a second pseudo-tank when you ult them.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah.
And Kha'Zix just has such amazing pressure in the early game as well. He's, I really like I said, I really like the Kha'Zix Lulu combo.
Right. And there we go. Pantheon, Lucian, the two pickups. And over on the Jin Air Falcons side, we may see that Zyra pickup for Kish. And he always was a big Zyra player, so it wouldn't be too much of a shock. A comfort pick for him, even though Zyra not quite as strong these days overall in the meta, but he'll go with it.
Yeah, he will indeed. And for those of you who don't know, Kish is Muse. They're all the same player. So former CJ player.
Yep,
coming over to the Jin Air organization. They picked up quite a few of those.
Used to be known for his lane with Space, the old Space and Muse lane.
Yep.
We saw on Frost every once in a while. And over on the Bigfile AMOR side, will they pick up Leona? I would imagine probably, yeah. It wouldn't be a bad choice. Just waiting for it now. Ventus. Waiting for that lock-in.
Yep, and the Pantheon pickup, pretty standard stuff, good engage, well-rounded composition coming out of Bigfile AMOR. They've got a lot of pressure in the early game with Pantheon, but that's going to be matched with the Kha'Zix on the other side.
Two very solid team comps overall for the current meta, I would say. The Zyra pick a little bit out there, but considering the player, it fits,
Tons of engage from Bigfile AMOR. I mean, you look at Leona and Pantheon together on the same composition, and you really like what you're going to be seeing in terms of forcing a team fight. Jin Air, their engage is not so great, but they're going to be a lot better at sieging and kiting here with Lulu, Caitlyn, Zyra. Yeah, they may have some trouble because Pantheon getting in the back lines is not going to be easy for this team to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a little bit easier with a Lulu because you can always just immediately whimsy him when he comes down. So you've got options, And I mean, the thing is, you always put down the Zyra ultimate right underneath where the circle appears as well, too. So they've got some good ways to handle it, but we'll see if it works out. It all comes out to mechanics at that point and play sense. So the rosters for both sides. I wonder, I feel like Pantheon has the same thing going on as like the Jawas from Star Wars do, where you always really wonder, what does he look like? You can only see those kind of glowing orange eyes. Maybe Pantheon's just a big Jawa.
Maybe he is. Maybe that's what stand bars are. I think Riot actually changed the lore. So when Pantheon came out, he was a stand bar.
I remember that, yeah.
Which is perhaps the least creative thing I've ever heard.
Stand bar.
It was so bad, I think Riot changed it.
Why not, you know?
You know, if you're going to call him a stand bar, you might as well just go the whole way and call him a Spartan.
Call him Spartans, why not? Hey, Halo did it. As the game is loading up, the Jin Air Falcons versus Bigfile AMOR. Time to get in the game and see who goes on to the winners match to face IM number 2. What'll be the game is loading. I'm psyched, man. Firebad Heroes team trying for a spot in Champion Spring. Will they make it? It's time to get in the game. And here we go, match 2, Jin Air Falcons versus Bigfile AMOR. Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Thanks. It's nice here. I think I'll stay.
Welcome. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. We've got trees and moss-covered ruins and
no jungles, despite the fact that we call them one.
The best putting greens on Runeterra. That grass is pretty flat.
It's been trampled down by
That's right.
thousands of champions.
By Pantheon's gigantic feet. Look at those. He's got huge feet.
Stand bars are known for their large feet, though.
I guess so. That's what I've heard. Rumor has it.
It's why they're so good at kicking people down wells.
That's right. This is Stand Bar. Fighting. I got the last word of that, yeah. Bigfile AMOR, fighting. That's what that says.
Well, just a standard line of scrimmage, as standard as standard can be. A little sad we're not seeing any early shenanigans. They're always a good time.
Yep. Pantheonigans. Pantheonanigans. You know, they did the He-Man skin for Pantheon, but I really feel like they should have done it for Sejuani because you could like do the Battle Cat thing so easily.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. You know?
So deep ward going in early from Miso. He knows he's going to be pushing up this lane, so he needs to keep track of the jungler and make sure that he has some time. But with Slave starting over there at the blue buff, he will be showing up at around 3 minutes in, so he can't be as aggressive as probably he would like. It'd be better for him if Slave was starting over at red.
Yep. A slave to the meta.
Wow, Mystic and Kish not actually pushing this lane very hard. There we go.
Okay.
Waiting. They know that the leash was taken over there on that blue side, but they delayed that a little bit. Most duo lanes will just start autoing the wave the instant it hits just to make sure that you can shove and get that level 2, but instead they're using their range to zone right here.
Really good zoning, actually. Wow. Kinch and Mystic just really prepared.
Yeah, so playing this lane out a little bit differently, not caring about that level 2, and instead just denying as much CS and experience as possible. You can see hybrid penetration runes onto
very nice.
Kish right there.
Yeah.
Using that long auto attack range from Zyra.
Yeah, and those are getting to be pretty popular. I mean, they always were, especially with Annie, but it's cool to see that on Zyra as well.
Yeah, they're good on Sona.
Yeah, Kish has always been kind of on the cutting edge of Zyra builds as well. Understandably. Oh, look at that, going for the Q immediately. Doing some damage under turret with that. Really good way to poke without worrying about taking turret aggro. Such a long range.
Yeah.
The damage not as high as it used to be for Zyra, but still significant.
Yep, ward there at 3 minutes, so they know that this is a little after 3 minutes. If Pantheon comes out immediately, this is about when he'd be hitting the lane. So proper timing.
Yep.
On a ward, given the jungle path used by Slave.
Yeah, man. Kish and Mystic just putting on a clinic for how to take control of a lane early on with this combo.
They did it very nicely. And both junglers going on a little bit of invade right now. Slave is going to get behind them, however. We did see that.
Oh boy, real Foxy up in the top lane.
AMOR did ping that location, so they know where the ward is.
Oh boy, we've got action in both lanes. Sudan in a bit of trouble. There's the Ignite. Going down, Real Foxy with the Q. Can they get first blood? He's getting low. There it is, first blood for Miso. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, nothing really. Oh yeah, they actually did get Mystic. Okay.
So really good gank right there. Communication solid from AMOR about where the ward was. And they both made a play on opposite sides of the map. Now,
we'll
think
have to
about
see that replay.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to take a dragon this early, so not much, just trading kill for kill.
Well, that's going to help Wit and Ventus catch back up in CS. So that's not going to be bad. They're actually going to go back, I guess. Spend a bit of that assist money.
Yep, clearing out the wave.
Yep.
But yeah, a little bit of a CS advantage from Jin Air so far, which to be expected given the lane setup. Take a look at that again. It's just Mystic.
Really good Zenith play down to Mystic, right in the middle of that net. The exhaust, just clean.
Yep.
Making sure that Caitlyn can't get away. Yeah.
Pretty commonplace textbook gank.
When you're pushed up that far, there's really nothing you can do. And you could say that Mystic didn't use his barrier or his flash in that. He's like, well, I'm dead.
Yep.
There's no reason to use summoner spells. Yeah, smart move there. No summoners actually used in that bot lane.
Well, back to the old farming game, though.
Oh, yeah.
So early pickaxe here for Miso. He will be going with a Hydra build this time.
Which is usually what you see in that Renekton versus Shyvana matchup these days.
Tiamat build. He probably won't build it all the way into Hydra. But
yeah.
Tiamat into tanking. Just back to farming, I suppose, for just a little while.
Right. You ever play the... Oh, never mind. Sudol getting jumped on. He may be in trouble again here. What in the world? These ganks from Real Foxy and Miso. Sudol just getting hammered. Meanwhile, more action in the bot lane. Mystic in a bit of trouble. Kitch slowing up Wit for just a moment. The burst's not going to be there. Mystic, there's the Ignite barrier pop by Wit. Q does a little bit more damage. Oh, man, Ignite ticking down, but now Vent is in a bit of trouble. Can they finish him off? The shield goes up. They catch him, and he has to flash away.
They got all the summoners out of the bot lane right there. That is absolutely huge.
1 for 3, really nice.
Also, what's going on in the top lane, that's the correct gank. You know, you want to gank the lane with the most kill potential, and right now, that's definitely like Renekton if you have the Kha'Zix, especially into a Shyvana matchup. Renekton just puts on so much pressure and does so much damage early that you want to abuse that advantage as much as possible, because Renekton needs that lead in order to stay even in the late game, because otherwise Shyvana will simply outscale him, and they've done a good job of getting him those 2 kills, getting him nearly, well, not nearly double, but 15 more CS at this point.
Yeah, Miso much far ahead than Pseudo at the moment. Yeah, so far Jin Air just really doing well overall against Bigfile AMOR. BF AMOR.
BF AMOR.
My BFF AMOR.
Maybe they'll get a Bigfile sword this game.
Maybe. Bigfile sword. Now we know what it stands for. Product placement. And Miso zoning as best he can. He's the albino crocodile this time. Just like they have in the San Francisco science thing. That's an alligator. They have albino one. It's very cool.
I was unaware.
Yeah.
Check it out next time I'm in the Bay Area.
It doesn't look real when you see it, but then you're like, wow, that is actually a living alligator that's pure white. It's very cool. For people who are into alligators, I guess.
Who's not into alligators?
Yeah,
Alligators
exactly.
are awesome.
Who's not into alligators?
Who would dare be an alligator hater?
Maybe Crocodile Dundee.
Gator hater?
Gator hater. That's anyone who doesn't like Florida college teams. And they're going to go for this dragon here. Bigfile AMOR trying to take it so far, dancing around the dragon, and they will be able to get it. Can they disengage, though? Slave jumping onto Boruna, and here comes Real Foxy in. The Ignite taking down on Slave, a nice wild growth, and now BF AMOR in big trouble. Oh, a huge ult. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Real Foxy backing away. Win trying to get it. A great whimsy. Huge whimsy there from Boruna.
Kish is a total boss. He got like a 4-man root right there after a flash, and that really turned that fight around. Very risky dragon attempt by BF AMOR right there. They're still chasing Boruna, delaying the recall a little bit. Ventus having
deep behind
to run.
enemy lines. And will he be able to? Oh, Glitterlance says no execute. Boruna going to claim another kill. He's 1-0-3 now with a nearly 20 CS lead. Man, I got to say, we are 9 minutes into the game.
That was not a good dragon.
No, Jin Air Falcons are absolutely crushing BF AMOR.
They're lucky they even got that dragon. I mean, they took a ton of damage from it. And
Slave. Oh. And Miso flashes away. Will he be able to escape? Pop that Dominus.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be able to. Oh, yeah, Boruna right there. Jeez. Things are just not looking good for BF AMOR right now.
Good timing from the Renekton, though, and that's using that top lane advantage to its utmost. Meanwhile, Wit going to clear out the minions on his turret.
And we have not seen a very one-sided game this one-sided a little while now. There was one on Masters the other day, but this is pretty one-sided.
Yep, and it's more than likely only going to get worse for BF AMOR because they're going. The jungle invades are starting right now. The lead is snowballing. Everybody has a large edge now over on the Jin Air Falcons. And you can see that there's a big difference in itemization right now. Wit versus Mystic. There's a BF sword up on Mystic.
Bigfile sword.
No, not this game. It's a Jin Air sword.
Yeah. And no real recognizable teams, significant teams that Bigfile AMOR got through in the qualifiers to get to this point as well. Kind of looking to see if they had played anybody notable, but it doesn't really look like it. Yeah. So, things looking a bit rough.
Indeed.
BF AMOR.
But, I mean, they're playing a team with a lot more experience. Real Foxy's standing in a ward right now, so that's not going to work out too well for him. His lens is on cooldown, and he's just going to back off.
Yep. I think they're aware something's up. But just look at the CS, man. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Kong has caught up a little bit in the mid lane, but top end AD carry are looking really rough right now, especially down in the bot lane at ADC. Mystic just miles ahead of Wit at the moment.
Yeah, looks like Slave is going to make a play. He is now level 6. He's a level behind Real Foxy. Real Foxy moving up into the mid lane.
Yeah, they might. Do you think they tried to dive Kong here? I don't think there's really a reason.
No, I think he may be trying to figure out where Pantheon is as well.
Yeah, that could be.
But they don't see him. They may have seen him with the ward going in there. Yeah, there's pings going down. They have a strong suspicion about where he is. And yes, they are going to see him now for sure.
Kong gets hit with that glitter lance. Another E from Borunda does damage there. And Slave getting jumped on by Real Foxy. There's the ult. He's in big trouble now. The Q misses, and that helps out Slave. But the E engage, and Slave just gets 1v1'd. Wow, just getting absolutely thrashed. But Spirit of the Lizard Elder already done for Real Foxy.
Yeah, just now completed for Slave, and he did the right thing in waiting that one out and just going for the jungle duels. This is how you punish people when you have a jungle Kha'Zix that's ahead. You want to just create picks by yourself and torture their jungler as much as possible.
Yep. Now, Slave did pick up the Spirit of the Lizard Elder himself as well. So in terms of items, he's even. It won't be quite as easy for Real Foxy to continue to do that until he goes back and buys.
Yeah, until he goes back and buys. Yeah. Even so, it's just in terms of dueling potential. Kha'Zix through the roof, and he will go back and buy right now. Boots of mobility. He wants to continue affecting this game as much as possible. Wards and pots as well. So
I think it's hard to find boots that fit Kha'Zix. I think it would be. Pantheon coming in, Slave coming down, and Miso trying to run out, gets hit by the ultimate from Sudol. Miso backing away. Slave coming in. Will they be able to get him? They're waiting, trying to give him time for Borunda to come up. Miso turning around now. They're going to dive him under turret, potentially. Miso just turning it into some dirty farming. Because he knows he's got Real Foxy and Borunda. Meanwhile, action on the bot lane. Wit manages to flash out of the ultimate. And Kish in big trouble. There's the flash. Ventus really wants to kill. He'll get it, but he may pay for it. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Sudol does go down as well as Slave, and they're going to get the top lane for it. At the same time, that gold lead increasing even more, up to about 4,000 gold now, a little over.
Yeah, Mystic
for Jin Air
canceled his ultimate right there. It looked like it was hard to tell what happened, but he was getting hit by the culling, and it didn't go off, and he decided to turn around and kind of chase instead. But it's fine as long as he's able to get this tower.
Yeah.
Which it looks like he will be able to do. You'll make that sacrifice of chunking out the enemy low enough, giving up your support, and then getting the pressure on the turret right afterwards. Look at that. He's just delaying the recall even more. That's incredibly annoying of him.
Yeah, Mystic again. You know, this whole game, I feel like Mystic and Kish have played the spot lane really well. They did get caught once, but the thing is when you're playing a bot lane like this, you can get caught once or twice. It's not that bad, really.
Yeah, He's just got an immense CS lead right now as well.
So let's watch what happened in the top lane.
Yeah, just this will be a standard dive. I mean, Sudol is just not
dive.
very tanky right now, so Real Foxy's probably has not been on point. Kept going right in, Wild Growth onto the tanking. Oh, actually, Miso was tanking that. That was a bit of an error right there.
Yeah.
Could have gone quite badly for them, so missing the proper target with the Wild Growth.
Well, rough start for Bigfile AMOR, down 10-2 in terms of kills and down 7,000 gold at 1440 at the moment. That hurts. Hurts real bad.
Hurts real bad indeed, and now it's going to take all the buffs. And they need to start thinking about continuing to pressure here. They've got this big zone advantage with Lulu, Caitlyn, and Zyra. They can certainly and easily siege with this competition. Yeah, that's what we'll see. Just a rapid rotation into the mid lane, ignoring bot for the moment and shoving up this mid lane wave. Well, they are going to go and defend against bot. And in fact, they are pinging on the tier 2 tower.
Huh, okay. Interesting. Might as well save those turrets for as long as you can.
I think right here, the proper rotation choice was to send Kha'Zix down into the bot lane in order to clear and just push with Lulu, Caitlyn, and Zyra to take down the mid tower as fast as possible, because that'll open up.
Oh, Miso. Miso, 1v3. Should be able to slice and dice his way out of this, though. Yeah, doesn't even need to. He's fine.
So now they're going to move up again and create some pressure. And see Real Foxy putting down some ping wards just to give himself a little more mobility in that jungle without having to worry about people creating a pick on him.
Yep.
Here we go. Tier 2 tower, Real Foxy around the side right there.
Real Foxy. Real Foxy. Real Foxy. Real Kha'Zix. He should be playing Ari if he's Real Foxy, I guess. Real Nine-Tail Foxy.
I like it. All right, more pressure on the tier 2 right now. They've done a good job of creating a zone on the outside. There's not really any way for BF AMOR to stop this pressure on the tower.
And there it goes. Well, Slave trying to come in. Oh, a great solar flare, actually. Wild Growth comes down. Jin Air backed off, but a great disengaging ultimate from Kish prevents that, and they could probably still siege. They need to be careful, but it was a great engage from Bigfile AMOR. That was about as good as it gets, really, for them.
No, they have to do something like that. It's the only thing their composition has an edge on, so they need to get that hard engage in, but the disengagement with Zyra is a little too strong as well, and Miso continuing just to split push. He's going to get damage down onto this tier 2 as well, and it didn't really get rid of Jin Air. They're continuing to clear right there. I am just continuing to make rotations as well, so just little bit by little bit, they're picking away at towers in all 3 lanes.
Well, the pressure continues to come in for the Jin Air Falcons.
Indeed.
So the captain of the team, do you think they call him Captain Falcon?
Oh, he's going to show us his moves.
That's right. It's a ceremony where he goes, Falcon, punch! That was always my favorite Smash Brothers character.
He's a crazy one.
I was a Captain Falcon fan. Melee. I never played Brawl.
I never played Brawl either, but I heard it wasn't that good.
That's what everybody says. Maybe that's where the Jin Air Falcon's name came from.
Captain Falcon?
F-Zero, yeah. Captain Falcon. You never know. We can pretend, right? Sure, why not? I'm answering my own question.
Tier 2 tower nearly down here in the bottom lane.
You know, I feel like we're seeing what we saw at like 25 minutes at 15 minutes this game.
Yep.
It's such a huge lead.
Yeah, they were being a little overly cautious here, especially because up until right now, Grand Skyfall was on cooldown, so they actually probably could have just walked up a little further and done some auto damage to that turret.
You know, again though, I am not going to criticize any team for caution here. Solar Flare comes down onto Mystic. Here comes the man drop. Can they do anything? Mystic shield, or Mystic gets jumped on rather by the Xenoblade. And the turnaround from Real Foxy, just way too much damage. Mystic lives, but yeah, the resets, man. Feed the Kha'Zix, feed the jungle Kha'Zix this time. 3 kills and the turret. Nobody dies on the Jin Air Falcons. Mystic, or Miso rather, winning his fight in the top lane. Sudol pushed away. Yeah, Miso takes a lot of turret hits. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, they continue just to roll in these turrets. They're 4-0 in terms of turrets before 20 minutes into this game, with just a titanic lead.
Whoa, Sudol came back in. Miso hid in the brush, and the Ignite gets the kill. Ignite not quite finishing off Miso. That's rough, man. Sudol not looking happy. 0-4-0. It has been a tough game for BF AMOR, but specifically, I can't speak. It's tough to speak, and it's also tough for Sudol.
It is, but the Jin Air Falcons played out that 2v2 top lane jungle. That's how you want to do it. I mean, if you look at the Falcons' composition this game, it's pretty obvious where you want to put pressure, and it's against this Shyvana early, so she can't outscale. They played properly, given the champions that they had.
There we go. AMOR trying to engage again.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not much to say right here. Really good zoning ultimate right there.
Yeah.
They try to get the exhaust down onto Real Foxy, but the resets just continue to roll in.
Well,
there's nothing they can do.
You know, it's exactly like we talked about in Champ Select, where, yeah, Slave can come in with that Pantheon ult, but he's going to come right on top of his Zyra ultimate every single time.
Well, if he comes in behind, you probably won't see the Zyra ultimate, because they'll just use the Zyra ult on whoever's engaging from the front and then turn and just kill him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is difficult. They need to get behind. But that said, due to the disengage, it'll be hard for the front line to get in there, and especially this far down. I mean, this game is, for all intents and purposes, over.
Yeah, 11,000 gold lead in 20 minutes. That is over. Real Foxy, real generous.
So but in a more even game, that you said you didn't want to criticize teams for playing too cautiously, but there's a downside to that caution as well.
Yeah.
Because they had a timing window where Pantheon ult wasn't up, and had they autoed, you'll notice as soon as Grand Skyfall came back up, BF AMOR engaged once again. If they had been able to get that turret down while Pantheon ult was down and just left, they wouldn't have had to fight that fight. And yes, they won the fight and they got they got 3 kills out of it. But I'm just saying, in an even situation, you don't want, sometimes that caution means you lose a timing window that's very critical.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, that's interesting. Spell Thief's Edge, picked up by Kitsch here.
That is curious.
I don't think he started with that, did he?
I
think he might have started with that, and I just didn't notice it until now. Wow, I am embarrassed. But if he did, good for him, because he was auto-attacking like a madman early on in lane.
Yeah, he certainly was. Well, let's see what they decide to do next. This top lane turret is pretty darn low. Ward's going up in the red side jungle. Taking doubles instead. Miso still split pushing, this time on the opposite side of the map. This is a really good call. I mean, just nobody can deal with him right now.
Yep, Zenith Blade misses. Real Foxy manages to leap out of that one. And damage on the turret. Yeah, Sudol has to do what he can. And there's a drop coming in, Slave. Oh, a nice solar flare and a great wild growth pushes people away as Slave comes in. Real Foxy still alive. Flashes for the kill, can't get it. Real Foxy backs away. I can't speak today for some reason. Mystic gets taken out. A double kill for Boruna.
A really good re-engagement. That was an over-pursuit by BF AMOR right there, especially by Slave when he was so low, not turning around, problematic.
Oh, here comes Miso. Just pushing people away. They just want that turret. Sudol trying to defend it. Kish may have a bit of a hard time. He needs to be careful, but they get the flash out of Sudol, and there goes a tier 2 turret. A stun, just more damage on the Shyvana, and they may be able to actually kill him right here. Whoa. Miso tanks turret hits all day. Kong comes in with the barrel. They're going to be able to save that inhibitor turret for now, but it's 5 turrets to 0. Gold lead just continues to increase. 13,000 gold now.
Yep. I mean, there's just not much to say about this game anymore.
No, not really.
Jin Air Falcons just crushed it here in the early game.
Yep.
And they're using their composition well. And even though BF AMOR is doing all they can to force engages, when you're this far behind in gold, it simply doesn't matter. When Shyvana's been shut down this hard, and she's really the only weapon you have to use, that's just not going to work.
Yeah. Wit forced into a Bloodthirster first on Lucian as well. just for that survivability, but just not working out.
So ping's going down on Baron right now from the Jin Air Falcons. They're starting to set up. They can certainly just go ahead and take it. The Caitlyn's damage output, she's nearly got that last Whisper. Doesn't quite have it yet, just a couple hundred gold away.
Yeah, might be able to pick it up after that Baron. Waiting in Fountain. We'll see if maybe she's waiting for the last little bit. Slave, cancels that ultimate, decides to not go in. Real Foxy was there as well.
Yeah, that was not going to be very successful. Kong needs to be a little bit careful about where he uses his W right there. And now, here we go, taking blue buff, handing it over to Boruna. And then the ping's down onto Barrett. So they have the blue. Looks like they want to start to set up a little bit of a bait right here at the very least.
If Donkey Kong plays Hecarim, can we call him Donkey Kong Kong?
Yes.
I know Hecarim's a horse, but bear with me on this one. Thank you. And the Baron being taken by the Jin Air Falcons, and any chance of response? Not quite, it looks like. Nope, that is it. Smooth, easy Baron for the Jin Air Falcons, and they continue to extend their lead.
Yep,
that is it.
Super easy, too, with Kha'Zix and a Caitlyn who's this far ahead. Yeah. Oh, takes the red.
Oh, wow.
Mystic with the Peacemaker red steal, and they're back on the outer side of the lane, pushing these towers in. Real Foxy.
He was able to pick up his last Whisper as well before he came back to do the Baron.
Yeah, pretty critical item at this stage in the game, and Miso can't get rid of him here. Sudol at least is tanking.
Oh yeah, coming in from behind. There's the Solar Flare, locks people up, but immediately Mystic gets ulted when he gets jumped on. Slave manages to get the kill. There's a nice ultimate from Zyra. Real Foxy taking some damage. A little bit of a sloppy engage, but they've got enough. Sudol coming over the top, but he's just still so squishy. Miso comes in for the stun, gives Boruna that double kill, and this is going to be most certainly an inhibitor in favor of the Jin Air Falcons.
Yeah, Miso just tanking the turret hits. He has so much money right now, it's really just irrelevant. And now, the inhibitor will go down.
Yep, certainly will. There we go. And so the Jin Air Falcons will disengage in style. And Bigfile AMOR continues to fall farther behind.
Well,
well,
pretty straightforward. Go
That's
back,
right.
continue to push using your Baron buff. Got that nice turret in the middle lane. You can dive whenever you want at this point. And actually, we see Miso going for that Bilgewater Cutlass, so not going any tankier. He's so far ahead right now, and he's already tanky enough for this point in the game, so you might as well just do a little damage, increase his dueling capability a tad.
Yeah, might as well.
So buffs, rolling through, taking their buffs. And then it's like heading, well, let's see if they go for the Dragon right here for the ultra-conservative play. They're already 17,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, Miso himself like 3,000 gold ahead of Sudol right now. And that's going to increase as another Dragon gets taken by the Jin Air Falcons. Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Bigfile AMOR will have another chance.
Yeah, they will. And we'll see how they do against Alienware top. That's going to be our losers match a little bit later today because, I mean, yeah, the game's not over, but I really can't imagine too many scenarios where the Jin Air Falcons lose this one. They would have to mega throw.
Yep. I don't even know if it's like possible to throw that hard.
Well, we'll find out. Slave coming in. Nope, not going to get anything done there. There's the Zyra ultimate. 2 kills already for the Jin Air Falcons. Blitz backs off, but Miso just all over everybody, and this is going to be a clean ace. So clean. Kish survives that one barely, but 5 for 0. That is going to be it. They've got one inhibitor down. They can go for the Nexus turrets, and in 28 minutes, with an immense gold lead, the Jin Air Falcons are going to absolutely dominate Bigfile AMOR, and they're going to the winners match.
They are, where they will get to play against Ion number 2 for a slot in Champions.
That'll be a good game.
And it's coming up right next as well.
Right next.
Right next.
Yep.
Miso taking some notes. He's like, I was pretty good at Renekton this game.
It's like, mental note. Kill Siobhan a few times early. It helps out. GG. Worked well. So a good start on the day for the Jin Air Falcons. And so at the very least, they are guaranteed to go on to that wild card match, even if they lose out. Bigfile AMOR, in the meantime, on the bubble. They will have to play against Alienware Top. The winner moves on. The loser is out.
Well, more League of Legends action coming up next after the break. I'm excited for this next match. The Falcons look good, but they'll have a much harder opponent in IM number 2.
I think they both ended up playing teams that were disproportionately weak against them. So this is going to be the